We are at the Marrow, and this is
The local riffs of chaos.
featuring
Beekeeper.
Atse
And killing tyranny.
on Coffee and Metal. I'm here at the Marrow, the local Riffs of Chaos, with Beekeeper. Guys, I'm so honored to have you guys here. So just I had a few questions for you guys before you guys go on the stage.
Sure.
How long have you guys been together?
5, 6 years.
Right, so how would you guys describe the sound of Beekeeper?
I mean, I'd say like, like thrash, the early death metal sounding, like that's the shit we listen to, like old Sepultura and like Slayer and Death and Pantera. So just kind of like, that's just the stuff that we love. So it kind of just shines through. But thrash, death metal, old school-ish.
What I got from it was a very raw sound, very
Yeah.
raw, powerful sound that I like about it. And you guys just come at full force. I love it so much. I got your album right here. Your album right here. And I just love it. So
Cool.
where can people find more about you guys? Beekeeper.
I mean, to find out, like, you can go to beekeepermetal.com or our Bandcamp, beekeepermetal.bandcamp.com.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, we're on all that social media.
So any upcoming shows that you guys want to tell us about?
Yeah, definitely. February. April 29th, we're playing at the Brick by Brick. It's the SD Metal Swap Meet after show. And we're playing with Superjoint and Battlecross and Child Bite and a couple other bands. So that one's going to be sick that we're looking forward to.
I'm sure it will be. All right, for Coffee and Metal, this is Christian with Beekeeper. See you next time.
We're here with AdSeg, and they're gonna tell us a little bit about their influences. What is your influences?
You ever seen Space Ghost Coast to Coast? Brack's my influence from there, and then like Strife. A lot of George Michael. I think he's really underrated. Things of that nature. Strife. Actually.
Careless Whisper. You know what I'm saying?
No, we just like old school thrash.
Bad Brains.
Street punk, man.
Minor Threat. Dead Kennedys.
Fight punk.
Fucking
Second punk.
like even Kiss and all the old school metal. That's what I grew up with. Just Kiss, Metallica, Megadeth, Minor Threat, Bad Brains, all that sick shit back in the day.
Everybody, genre.
How long have you guys been playing for?
Shit, man. We've been at this for like
7 years.
no, like going on
8.
almost like 8 years. We've been playing on and off.
You guys ever opened up for anybody like big in the punk scene?
Some cool shows.
No,
Total Chaos.
not really.
Battalion of Saints, Nomads.
Yeah, Battalion of
Definitely
Saints.
Nomads.
That was cool. We played with them twice.
Yeah. It's just a lot of local bands, man. We usually never get paid. We usually just get beer and blowjobs, and that's pretty much it. Usually the blowjobs are from dudes, so it's kind of weird, but I don't know. It's all I got.
Take it from here.
Coffee Metal again. Here we got the local Riffs of Chaos. We got Killing Tyranny right here. So let me just ask you guys, what is your major influences in music?
Well, I think you might want to go down the line, but we can start off with me. I'm George Gregory, I'm the lead singer, and basically my first influences when I was at the youngest level are the people who wrote and made change with their lyrics. We're talking about like John Lennon, we're talking about of course Bob Dylan, we're talking about Marley, we're talking about all these people that affected change through their lyrics. So that's one of the things I gravitated towards. And then when I realized that I wanted to just beyond play and I kind of wanted to sing, I started figuring out who I want to sound like, and I was gravitated in the early days of writing songs and stuff like that, and the Beatles and stuff, of course, but Zeppelin was my first love. Okay, the almighty Zeppelin, and then basically it moved on from Zeppelin to Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Queensryche, Halloween, Megadeth, and then it just kept on going. Sanctuary, some local guys here from San Diego that got big. Basically just kept on going in that frame of metal where I still wanted to be aggressive and kind of pissed off, but I wanted to sound good, and I wanted people to understand what the frick I'm saying. So that's kind of, you know, what kind of has really influenced me in that way. Who's influenced you? This is Jason.
Slayer, pretty much. Black Label Society.
Jimi Hendrix. First band I was really into when I was real little was Black Sabbath. That's what started off for me. Tony Iommi. Pretty much it.
Eric, the bass player, and I guess the guilty pleasure would have been I started out on Kiss, which I guess when you're in second grade though, Kiss is okay. But I'd have to say Black Sabbath, Overkill. Pretty much George stole it. Once I heard Led Zeppelin, it was like, what the heck is this? And I want to be making some of this somehow.
Bill Drummer, I'd have to say Sabbath, Priest, Motley Crue, Van Halen, some Rush. Pretty much all the good ones.
Hey, I'm Scott Muller, lead guitar. I love this question. Edward Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, Warren DeMartini, George Lynch, Vito Bratta, Ronnie Laticro from TNT. The list just goes on and on. There's so many great players. Dimebag Darrell, of course. Zach Wilde. I mean, it's just, I'm a huge 80s guy. The 80s just had some phenomenal guitar players, and some guys that kind of grew out of that. They're the ones that I really like. Doug Aldrich too. I mean, I could go on all night, but those are the main ones.
All right, this was Killing Tyranny for Coffee and Metal's Local Riffs of Chaos.
Yeah.
everybody doing?
Come on, Miro, I said, how the fuck you doing?
So that was the local Riffs of Chaos. We had a lot of fun today. I want to thank all the bands, all the people that came, friends, family, strangers, and we'll see you next time
On Coffee and Metal.